Warm welcome. We are watching 7 at 7, the only news bulletin where we curate the day's top 7 stories for our viewers. I'm Preet Choudhary, and these are the headlines. Supreme Court stays all cases and proceedings in sedition case. SAS Centre states to not file fresh FIRs till the colonial era law is reviewed. India Today accesses CCTV footage of the moment when RPG was launched at police headquarters in Mohali. Pakistan manufactured grenade used in blast nexus with Khalistan terrorists clear now. Hearing on Gyanvapi mosque case concludes, verdict on survey tomorrow. Videographer speaks to India Today, says lotus symbol gongs, rows of flowers seen on mosque walls. Frontline warriors sent out SOS demand, NEET be delayed 10 days before examination. Cites counselling delay as reason for insufficient preparation time. India Today's language war news break gets bigger. Superstar Mahesh Babu says Bollywood cannot afford him and that he does not want to waste his time doing Hindi cinema. Government sources hint at malign India toolkit by Pfizer Moderna-like global pharma lobby, says those denied entry into lucrative Indian vaccine market plotted WHO report to target India. Sri Lanka on the edge after days of violence and arson. Shoot on sight order to quell unrest. India Today reports from ground zero.
You can see how this bus, which is a private bus, has been completely charred, and for days together we've been seeing similar kind of violent situations going here, and now the Sri Lankan government has ordered that officials can open fire at those people who are involved in damaging public and private property.
Many would say that this was historic. An archaic law handed over by our colonial past now stayed. In a big move, the sedition law has been stayed, giving massive relief to all the sedition case accused. As the Supreme Court stayed all cases and proceedings, the Supreme Court ordered to keep all cases in abeyance till review. The Supreme Court stayed the sedition trials till law re-examined. The centre has been asked now to send advisory to states. The Supreme Court has asked the centre states to not file fresh FIRs till this law is reviewed. The centre, in their argument, has said that gravity of pending cases not known. Maybe there is a terror angle. Tushar Mehta, appearing for centre, argued the pending cases are before judicial forum and we need to trust the courts.
We have made our position very clear, and we also informed the Honourable Court about the intention of the Honourable Prime Minister. Beyond that, if anything else have happened, I don't know. We respect the court, we respect the independence of the court, but there are things which is called Lakshman Rekha. All the organs of the state must respect each other. Whatever we say, whatever we do, we have to ensure that we respect the provisions of the Constitution of India as well as all the existing laws.
It's obviously a positive development because this follows Narendra Modi ji's government having filed an affidavit before the Honorable Supreme Court specifically saying that it wishes to examine or re-examine the issue around the sedition law. The government's approach is to make things easier for the citizen and better for the citizen of India. And the Honorable Supreme Court has accepted this point of view. We should wait for what the final analysis comes or the decision comes from the government. And obviously the Honorable Supreme Court will then take a final view on it.
I think this is a historic order of the Supreme Court. The interim order of the Supreme Court is not only right, it is in accord with the sensitivities of the nation at this point of time. I think pursuant to the affidavit filed by the central government and its request for time to re-examine the law, this order was the only right order to have been made, since the fact of the blatant and brazen abuse of the colonial era law is a reality. The only way forward would have been to stay the operation and the implementation of this law till such time as the government completes the review process.
जन विरोधी नीतियों की आलोचना पर जनता को जेल की सलाखों के पीछे डालने वाले शासक जान लें कि अब जनता उठ चुकी है। जनता की आवाज को ना कुचला जा सकता, ना उसका दम घोटा जा सकता, ना उसे दबाया जा सकता, क्योंकि राष्ट्र धर्म में सरकारों की आलोचना और शासकों को सच का आईना दिखाना हमारा धर्म है।
All those accused would be therefore amenable for an immediate release on at least interim bail. That is what I understand. Till this 124 is resolved and the government comes back, whether they are taking it out of the statute book or not.
देश में जब फ्रीडम होने के बाद भी आज एक लोक प्रतिनिधि हो या आम जनता हो या आम पब्लिक कोई भी हो इस देश में रहने वाला, अगर वो अपने धर्म का प्रचार प्रसार करता है तो आज महाराष्ट्र में ये परिस्थिति निर्माण हुई है कि उनके ऊपर देशद्रोह 124A सेडिशन जैसा कलम लगता है।
उस सभी भारतवासियों को इस सर्वोच्च अदालत की इस वर्डिक्ट का स्वागत करना चाहिए। मैं स्वागत करता हूं और पर्सनली भी मुझे उस बात का विशेष आनंद है कि मेरे दो दोस्त हार्दिक पटेल और कन्हैया कुमार को भी इसमें कुछ रिलीफ मिलेगी। जो भी पॉलिटिकल प्रिजनर्स हैं उन सभी को रिलीफ मिलेगी और मैं मानता हूं कि केंद्र की सरकार को, सारे राज्यों की सरकार को, सबको एक साथ मिलकर एक राष्ट्र के तौर पे हम लोगों को ये डिसाइड करना चाहिए कलेक्टिवली कि अब इस मुल्क में सेडिशन के कानून की कोई जरूरत नहीं है।
ये होल्ड पे रखना एक मुझे लगता है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने अच्छा किया है, क्योंकि उन्होंने सेंटर ने एफिडेविट दिया था कि वो इसको रिविजिट करना चाहते हैं, तो सेंटर को अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल जाएगी कि वो बिल्कुल ओपन माइंड से इसको रिविजिट कर सकें।
Strong criticism on the provisions of Section 124A, that is the sedition law, that it has been misused and misapplied by either by the state government or by the central government. And in fact, the central government indirectly has suggested that they would like to bring certain changes in the said provision of law so that misuse can be avoided. And one change which the central government has suggested, that the prior permission of the Superintendent of Police is necessary for invoking the provisions of sedition, that is 124A.
The court has effectively put the law in abeyance. As far as it has also requested both the center and the states and asked the center to give an advisory to the states that please don't have any fresh cases lodged under this section while the section itself is under review. As far as cases already lodged are concerned, if there are people in custody, it has said that they can approach the appropriate court for bail, and those bail applications will be heard reasonably expeditiously. So the effect of the court stay is to keep the law on hold till Parliament takes an appropriate decision and a review of the matter.
All right, viewers, the chorus now is growing for the postponement of NEET examinations. Heartbreaking pleas by young students asking to get more time to prepare for the medical examination. At least 8 to 10 weeks have gone viral.
I found the courage to pick up the books and read them so that I can do better for my nation.
India's COVID warriors, those at the forefront of the pandemic fight, in tears, protesting on the streets once again. If the last 2 years of the pandemic weren't enough, with just 10 days to go for NEET PG exams, anxiety and panic is now leading to nervous breakdowns.
We have to go from college to college and apply for the state counselling, and at the same time we have to prepare for the exams also. So we are in a dilemma whether to go for the counselling or we should study for the exam.
Delay in last year's NEET PG counselling is at the root of this crisis. Students had approached the Supreme Court against the Government of India's decision to arbitrarily increase reservation quota for the OBC in NEET PG. The result, interns and medical aspirants kept waiting for counselling to take place. Now students say that counselling is just about wrapped up and studying for 19 grueling subjects in 10 days is tough.
वक्त कम है क्योंकि उन्होंने फर्स्ट टाइम जब डेट रखी तो 6 मंथ के अंदर ही डेट रखी थी जो मार्च में थी, फिर उन्होंने पोस्टपोन किया 2 मंथ से। अभी मतलब हमें कभी भी ऐसी स्टेबिलिटी नहीं आई। कभी लगा कि हाँ 3 महीने में एग्जाम है, कभी लगा 2 महीने में एग्जाम है, तो हम मेंटली स्टेबल हो ही नहीं पाए और ठीक से कॉन्सेंट्रेट भी कर ही नहीं पाए।
Last year, the exam was held on September 11th. It's now scheduled for May 21st, 2022. The counselling ended on 3rd of May, leaving students with just 12 days to prepare.
We are not into politics. We are not aware of all these things. हम पढ़ाई करेंगे, इन चीजों पे ध्यान दें।
जो मिड रैंकर्स हैं उनका लॉस हो रहा है, जो इंटर्न्स भी छूट रहे हैं उनका लॉस हो रहा है। अगर 10-20 दिन या 6 to 10 वीक्स का अगर जो ये पोस्टपोनमेंट कर देंगे तो उसमें कवर भी हो जाएंगे, इंटर्न्स भी आ जाएंगे, मिड रैंकर्स का भी मतलब लॉस नहीं होगा। इससे मतलब आई डोंट थिंक कि जो पोस्टपोनमेंट नहीं चाह रहे हैं उनका कोई लॉस होगा इससे। अगर होता है तो लॉस हमारा ही हमारा होगा बस।
Medical Students Association has sent representations to the Health Ministry as well as appealed to the PMO to postpone the examination.
पिछले वर्ष का एडमिशन प्रोसेस है वो खत्म नहीं हुआ है, तो एडमिशन प्रोसेस खत्म नहीं होने की वजह से इनको कई स्टेट्स में जाना पड़ता है। अभी जो ये लोग कुछ लोग हैं ये कई स्टेट से अपने काउंसलिंग अटेंड करके आए होंगे, बहुत सारे लोग होंगे जो आने वाले होंगे, तो इस तरह से इनको एक कम्यूटेशन का भी प्रॉब्लम होता है और अपने कोर्स को रिवाइज करने का भी प्रॉब्लम होता है। अगर कोविड के वजह से डिले हुआ या फिर जो भी एग्जामिनेशन को मैनेज करने की वजह से डिले हुआ, उसका हर्जाना सिर्फ ये एक बैच क्यों भुगते, ये हमारा सीधा सीधा प्रश्न है।
Meanwhile, the All India Medical Students Association has knocked on the Supreme Court's doors once again.
Whether or not the government feels that this time around NEET PG examinations can be postponed will determine what will be the future, especially for mid-rankers who slog day and night to prepare for these very tough examinations and give India the doctors of the future. With Ravi Totawar in New Delhi, Milan Sharma for India Today.
All right, viewers, let's quickly shift focus right now to the island nation, our neighbor Sri Lanka. The civil unrest is reaching unprecedented levels where the country is concerned. New videos have emerged from Lanka showing military trucks moving out of the capital along with soldiers riding on motorcycles and setting up checkpoints across the country. All of this in midst of fear that a political vacuum could pave the way for a military takeover. Mahinda Rajapaksa, who resigned as the Sri Lankan Prime Minister on Monday, is facing calls for arrest for inciting violence that claimed at least 8 lives. According to reports, Sri Lankan forces have been ordered to shoot all those who plundered public property or have caused personal harm. Homes of several sitting and former minister members of parliament and mayors have also been set on fire by protesters. One ruling party MP was killed during these protests. Now the pressure is on the president, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, to resign after the resignation of his brother.
Completely barricaded gates, a very high police presence, and we're also able to see the effect of the kind of violence that we had seen on the 9th of May after Mahinda Rajapaksa had put down his papers. We can see here a vehicle which has been fully burnt, and this is because of the mob violence that happened here. Multiple petrol bombs were hurled at the temple tree, which is the official residence of Mahinda Rajapaksa, as well as stones and other objects were pelted at all those people who were in support of Mahinda Rajapaksa and the officials who were standing here. Though the president, Gotabaya Rajapaksa, had invited the opposition, we've been told by our sources that the opposition party leaders had denied taking responsibility and forming a government, and had also demanded that they will only think about this if Gotabaya Rajapaksa resigns. And this has been the common demand of the people of Sri Lanka. We need to wait and watch how things will change, how Sri Lanka will jump back out of the economic crisis they are currently facing, and who will be that savior, that face for Sri Lanka. With camera person Divyan, from Colombo, this is Akshana for India Today. We're standing next to the Bere Lake near the Gangaram temple. This is generally a much loved tourism spot. You can see how there are swans which people use for boating, etc. But as we go closer in, as Divin gives you a zoomed in image, you will be seeing burnt buses which have been pushed into the lake. Burnt buses, burnt cars, all of that happened on 9th of May, Monday, when Rajapakse had resigned. Right now, we'll also show you a public bus which has been burned down. We can see how glasses have been shattered, all the seats have been burnt in, and you can now see how military personnel are standing guard here. This is the scenario that we're seeing across Sri Lanka right now. We're seeing that curfew, which was there till the 10th of May, has now been extended till the 12th of May. You can see how the remainings of the broken glasses, all of it, are still lying raw here. You can see how this bus, which is a private bus, has been completely charred, and for days together we've been seeing similar kind of violent situations going here. And now the Sri Lankan government has ordered that officials can open fire at those people who are involved in damaging public and private property. So that is a huge step that has come forward. And apart from that, we've seen today early morning Gotabaya Rajapakse taking to social media and requesting the people of Sri Lanka to stand united and help the government get through this political, social and economic crisis that is going on. From food, fuel, medicine, everything is high, and many of them are in shortage, which is a huge concern. With camera person Vivian from Sri Lanka, this is Akshana for India Today.
We have the responsibility for the change in society and to this corrupted economic crisis, right? Then our side, we have to try our best, right? So we think we always trying to save the society so we can win through the fight, right? So as well as we invite all the students of the other countries also to join with us.
All right, from Sri Lanka, let's come back to India and focus the spotlight on Rajasthan. A communal flare-up once again in Rajasthan, this time, viewers, once again in Bhilwara. Communal tension simmers there after a 22-year-old boy from one community was allegedly killed by members of another community. The deadly attack, which took place on Tuesday night, the Vishwa Hindu Parishad, the BJP and the Hindu Jagran Manch have called for a Bandh in Bhilwara. 3 have been detained, 2 of them are minors. Internet services in Bhilwara have been snapped. Rajasthan clearly witnessing communal flare-ups over the past 1 month, from clashes in Jodhpur over hoisting a saffron flag to demolition of a 300-year-old temple in Alwar.
ये जो घटना हुई है भीलवाड़ा के लिए बहुत शर्मनाक घटना है। पुलिस प्रशासन और इस सरकार के लिए आंखें खोलने वाली घटना है। इनको हम चेता के आए थे, जब हम मिलने गए थे तो कि ये रिएक्शन में कोई न कोई घटना जरूर होगी, आप सावधान रहना, लेकिन प्रशासन ने उस पर ध्यान नहीं दिया और ये घटना हो चुकी है।
ये घटना पुलिस की लापरवाही और प्रशासन की लापरवाही के चलते हुई है। जो दोषी लोग हैं उनको शीघ्र गिरफ्तार करें और परिवार की जो मांग है कि उसको मुआवजा दिया जाए, दोषियों को गिरफ्तार किया जाए, तब तक बॉडी नहीं उठाई जाएगी। और जिस तरह का आह्वान किया है, भीलवाड़ा में पिछले दिनों से घटनाएं हो रही है, उसमें जो भेदभाव है और जो निष्पक्षता नहीं है, उसको लेकर और इस घटना को लेकर जो बंद का आह्वान किया है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी उसका पूरा समर्थन करेगी।
Tension has erupted in Bhilwara district of Rajasthan after the murder of a 20-year-old boy. These people who have come out are from Vishwa Hindu Parishad, Bajrang Dal and BJP. They want that justice should prevail. They have demanded that all the accused in the case should be nabbed and be brought to book, and they have also demanded 50 lakh rupees of compensation for the family of the deceased boy. You can see large crowd from the VSP, from the Bajrang Dal, from the BJP, who are taking out this morcha in the Bhilwara city, and they have been closing down several shops, and their demand currently is that those who were responsible for killing the 20-year-old boy Adesh be nabbed and be hanged to death. They have also claimed that till the time the accused are nabbed, they will not allow cremation of the body of the 20-year-old boy. With camera person Nikhil Devankur Vadhavan in Bhilwara for India Today.
All right, let's shift focus right now to Punjab. The Punjab police, along with the NIA, have now years established a sinister Khalistan-Pakistan link to the grenade attack at the Punjab Mohali police headquarters.
The shocking Punjab grenade attack caught on camera. India Today has accessed the full exclusive CCTV video of the rocket-propelled grenade being fired at the Punjab Police Intelligence Headquarters in Mohali. The chilling video, despite being grainy, shows the rocket-propelled grenade being launched from a white Swift Desire moving very close to the building. The area, which seems like a parking lot, lights up as the rocket is fired. Then comes another flash, which probably is the impact. The car was parked outside the building before the attack and was spotted by a policeman who'd come out to take delivery of a pizza. The rocket launcher used to fire the rocket-propelled grenade was found dumped around a kilometer from the attack spot. It's been identified as a Russian-made RPG-22 launcher.
थोड़ा जो सानू दस दो कि तुसी की काम कर रहे सी जदों तुसी देखिया थे
मैं तो मैं ऐसे चिढ़ा दी थी
अच्छा
मैं साई उधर से
अच्छा
आकर मैं ऐसे भज का बढ़ गई
अच्छा
बड़ी भी मैं भज का आई जा खड़का होया
जी जी
खड़का हो गया मैं क्या मैं भज का मैं से गहां लंगी मैं से गहां छोड़ कर मैं फिर मुड़ आई भी मैं से डरी काते आ
जी जी
जब मैं देखा मैं कहा क्या चीज पई है मैं कंब गई
The RPG had not exploded, but had damaged window panes and roof material inside the intelligence headquarters. Probe agencies have exposed Pakistan's recent activation of its K2 desk, or the Khalistan Kashmir unit, to launch terror strikes in Punjab and to stoke unrest. The K2 unit is behind targeted killings of Hindu leader Durga Das Gupta in 2016 and RSS stalwart Ravindra Gosain in 2017. The fresh attack in Mohali comes after Punjab and Haryana police nabbed multiple Khalistani terrorists involved in smuggling Pakistani weapons, explosives and drugs using drones.
In a major development in the Mohali RPG attack case, the security agencies have secured a CCTV footage from a nearby building which is being examined by the forensic experts to get more leads. The 30th second CCTV footage shows a white car approaching this building. The car stops for a while and immediately leaves after a blast is seen in the video. The car, according to the sources, moved towards this place, which has now been barricaded by the police and was seen on Chandigarh-Ambala highway. The car has yet to be traced by the police. With camera person Aman Gupta, Manjeet Sehgal in Mohali for India Today.
All right, let's shift focus right now to Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh's Chief Minister Y.S. Jagan Mohan Reddy has tightened the law and order by cracking the whip on wrongdoers involved in various criminal activities in the state. From filing a case against former Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu for irregularities while developing Amravati as the capital region, arresting the educational baron P. Narayana for SSC question paper leak. The government is steadfast and cracking down on crime in the state. Welcome back. You're watching our Fact Check segment where we bust certain claims masquerading to be facts on social media platforms and WhatsApp group. There's a claim floating about suggesting that Raghuram Rajan has been appointed the governor of the Bank of England. Incorrect. The fact check on that: Andrew Bailey is the governor and his term will continue all the way till 2028. With that quick fact check, time for us to get into a break, but you do stay with me because viewers, on the other side, it's to the point.